Hey, if you missed us live, you can listen to us wherever you get your podcast. Hey, if you missed us live, you can listen to us wherever you get your podcast.
My name's Tony Llord. I'm the general manager at Fred Bean's Key and Landlord. I just wanted to take a minute to talk about Larry Felman and Career Changers USA. Larry and I have been working together for about the last 12 years now, and anything I've ever needed as far as recruiting, training, Larry's been right there. Larry's got me salespeople, he's got me managers, he's got me technicians even through the toughest times in the industry, and he is just the kind of guy who's going to tell you exactly what's on his mind. He's going to tell you exactly what he thinks. But Larry also has the expertise to back it up. When he was in the dealership world, he was a top performer. And that's really important to my staff, especially as it pertains to training. A lot of people can come in and teach out of a textbook, but Larry has real world experience dealing with customers, dealing with situations in dealerships that we go through on a daily basis and try to train on. But Larry's been through it, so he can really empathize with the people and tell you what's worked for him and maybe what way not to go. Larry is just always at a 10. I mean, his energy level is always up there. And I think people, they just love that and they feed off of it. He's not faking it. He is genuinely excited to come in and help you. He's excited to come in and help grow your business. And he's one of those people who just really enjoys seeing dealers succeed and have a lot of fun at the same time.
All right. Life is about connection. Having a support system to lean on. And roads to endless possibility. At every turn, guiding the way, we are building the connections that move you.
So what would your dealership feel like if your entire sales staff was literally on fire, your sales and service staff? They were nonstop all over social media, completely dominating your marketplace. They could do it in 30 days or less and then continue their education to do it for an entire 6 months or a year. You literally would completely take over the entire marketplace and no one would be able to compete with you. And that's what we can do for you. So when you're walking around your community, whether you're at local restaurants or you're going to the gym, if you don't want to be bothered, fine, you won't be bothered. But a lot of people will walk up to you and say, oh my God, I love your social media. Your staff is amazing. We love what you're doing in the community. We want to come buy a car from you. We want to get an oil change at your dealership. Your community is absolutely going to love you. And it doesn't matter what platform you're on. You could be on TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, all social media platforms. You will literally be all over the place. And not only will you have ads running, but your own staff is going to be promoting your brand and promoting themselves within the dealership and within the business. So it's like running an ad times 100-fold because your entire staff is participating in the process. I've traveled all over North America. I've trained Toyota. I've trained Nissan. I've been to driving sales. I've been to Women in Auto. I get hired as a speaker for conferences at universities all over the country. And I can help change the trajectory of your dealership right now.
See you. And this is Jeff here. Guess where? NADE 2024 with our new friend who I had to make wait in the waiting room on our Monday show because we're now uber security. Like we're really security guy. Does anybody know this guy? Yeah, we do. Okay, he can come in. So we're here with Nate Sesel. I like that. Okay, from ACS Automotive. Nate, please say hi, introduce your company a little bit yourself, and thank you for taking the time with us.
Well, so my name is Nate Sesel, and I run ACS Automotive. We are the automotive way. ACS, who is a massive TSD, technology services distributor. So what that means is that ACS has a portfolio of solutions, more on the telecom side, but with every provider that they offer, clients are always guaranteed best pricing, best support, and it's not standard support. This is literally like you go straight to tier 3 support. So we get to bypass all traditional means, and it's because we are obviously a growth engine for all the providers that we'll work with. So over the past couple of years, as we've expanded into automotive, I have been hand choosing products. Keep in mind, I've been in this industry or in technology for roughly 15 years, assessing products on a daily basis. And so I've been doing it here at automotive. Because the reality is, which you guys probably know this because we're both pretty savvy, probably 90% of what is here is smoke and mirrors. And the questions that we ask providers as we bring them into our portfolio start with the back end, not the front end. So we want to know where it's housed. We want to know how it's redundant. We want to know if it's real-time redundancy. The real question, how they're going to be supported. Of course, how the product is mixed is part of it. But we look at every one of them. For example, can I keep going?
Please.
So,
Of course you can.
one of the most recent ads we had is a company by the name of DealPay. We got into credit card processing last year for the Cardinelli Automotive Group, who's a great client of mine.
Right.
Teresa Fountain was their CFO, very good friend. We do a lot of stuff for them. I'm a tech advisor for them. But she asked me to find her a processor. I started with 50 providers, narrowed down to 15 that I deep dove. I served her one. 40 minutes into that demo, it was a done deal. So hopefully that tells you I know my technology and I can also listen to my clients. And this same provider, they're untouchable in this space. Just one example. Impel is our sales and service AI. And this was after looking at everyone in the market.
It's funny because as you've learned, as the more time you hang around dealers, we know everything. We go by the IKEA and we can put it together. No, we can't. And, if you've got a CFO of a group, their time is money. Forget the money they make to the company. Their time is money. And when you consider the fact that if they're going to spend time on 30 providers, have 30 salespeople knocking at their doors on Zoom calls or anything like that, look at that wasted time. And what do they know? I think they know, but they don't. So now they get somebody.
It goes back to, again, they're still not asking the back-end questions. Because this provider might be in one data center and not redundant because I'm a GM with found a developer. Yeah. And here we go. The 20 group recommended us because I got it for free if I would recommend it. There's too much of that. So instead of having your own personal advisor, which is just too expensive, you can use us. And there's no cost to us. So we can guarantee best pricing. But at the same time, we can guarantee better support from these same providers they would be using anyways. So it's a better technology experience to go through us. We can find technology. We have big developers. If people need things built out or integrations built, we can integrate into CRMs and integrate into DMSs, so on and so forth. But essentially, we're expanding tech portfolio on the automotive side, but the whole telecom, which is our bread and butter for agency, that's just a giver. So the whole infrastructure piece, primary, secondary internet. If they don't want to fail, they can use SD-WAN, so we can plug multiple circuits that run active. No more internet outages for a dealership. You know, most of them don't want to pay for that, but it's an option if they want to do.
Well, they don't want to pay for it, but guess what? When the internet's out, they pay.
Right, and then the phones and the security, those pieces right there, just the infrastructure side. Dealers are always overpaying. Cardinelli, I'll just use that example because they were my first big group. I work with much larger now, but we found over $20,000 in monthly spend that was wasted because we have people who analyze bills all day long. Do you think anyone in the dealership setting knows how to analyze a tech bill from AT&T?
So I hope that means they're happy to give you the 20 grand a month then.
But they don't. The thing is, they don't have to.
I tried.
They don't have to pay us anything. We don't charge consulting fees because again, there's enough in this, even with best pricing guarantees, that we're okay. And so much so that we're helping them with this essentially white glove hand-holding of onboarding new products. We guarantee the best PMs that they have, account managers, only the top. So if you're a smaller group, or if you're a larger group, or if you're the largest group, we can still give you a better experience because on our telecom side, on the ACS house side, we have Fortune 500, Fortune 100 clients that use this, that leverage us because of our relationships with these providers and the knowledge that we have.
That's really wild. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Well, we were talking about that the other day with our friend from A to Z when they were talking about their integration with Amazon. But the thing that was most interesting was the deal. I think he said took 6 to 8 years. Don't quote me on that because that's from my memory. But what was interesting about it is Amazon approached the largest companies in the space, and virtually all of them said, "No, not interested. You're Amazon, or you're too threatening to us."
Right.
And then it's taken time, but at the end of the day, they went with A to Z because A to Z was willing to work with them.
Right.
Were they the best? I'm assuming so, but ironically, when you look at a dealership, and we've done many shows on technology over the years, we'll have, let's just say 3 to 5 technology companies to pick a random number. And there's a lot of talk about algorithms. There's a lot of talk about the best in the industry, the future, and whatever else it is, right? But how many of the dealers who are listening to the show or considering those companies actually vet those companies? No ideas.
Right. How many get vetted? Who is asking the real questions about what kind of technology company is that? Yes, this is what they offer, but what's behind it? What's powering it? Where did it come from? Everybody wants to plug in with ChatGPT. I think that's a little concerning. Where is the forethought there? Where's the long-term thought there? Who owns this data? What are we opening ourselves up to?
We talked to a fella yesterday that was talking to an AI company that was building their platform based on the elephant in the room AI company. They let them build it for them.
Sorry if I'm not supposed to be.
We don't care. No, as long as we have a disclaimer for that reason, but normally just for one person. No, there's a fact is that would be like GM letting Tesla build their EVs. Granted, everybody's stealing tech from everybody else, and Musk threw it out years ago. But it's like saying, you build my EVs for me, and in direct competition to you. You don't do that. Take their advice, do this and that. And by the way, I do have a suggestion for a spin-off business. And like I do many a time, I do want royalties if you do it. You need to create a company that tells dealers what all the abbreviations mean. Like, I know dealers that don't know what DMS means. Just so you know, it's
the abbreviations and telecom side. It's like a freaking fungal. I mean, the acronyms on their side.
And by the way, when you're talking to dealers, I'm going to give you a hint too. This is free. As soon as you mention the word algorithm to a dealer, they do this.
Well, I also
everybody tries to sell those batteries.
well, I was
But it's not. You got to talk to them and meet them in dollars.
We always taught salespeople, don't use jargon. So this thing's got a lot of the VVT, ACS, ASC, it's got the ASC, and that's really good. The customer goes, All Saints Clothing, You know, yeah, you do. The biggest thing, one of the big jokes I have is cars have adaptive cruise control. So what does that description mean to you? The cruise control adapts to what? I tell people it's radar cruise. They go, what does that mean? Well, the radar reads the car in front. Oh, adaptive. They didn't know what it means.
Well,
Not saying they listen to me either, but
Like I have an XC90, right? So my
me too.
you know, that keeps me dead center between the lanes as well as the distance
Yeah.
to and front. I don't have to have my foot on the gas ever. If I
Have you done it in stop and go traffic? Where do you live? LA? No? Oh, okay.
So we live between, we've got a Savannah, Georgia is our primary house.
Yeah.
And then we have a place just outside of Key West where I'd prefer
Oh, man.
school.
Oh, man. That's it. I'm done.
There weren't enough kids for our children to homeschool the Keys. So we moved up to Savannah into a big community. We love it, big homeschool groups. And then we do extensive global travel and cultural immersion with the kids. My daughter was born in Ecuador, for example.
Cool.
But then I'm big on the global side. Sure. I love to meet people where they are.
Well, you know, I have to say,
because clearly I like to talk.
yeah, one bucket list I have is driving the, can't remember what it's called, but it's driving the road out to Key Largo, Key West, etc. You know.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
So it's
Well, you reminded me of that conference I was at. It was driving sales almost 20 years ago, maybe 25. And there's a room full of dealers, maybe about 800 dealers. And they hired a gentleman who was a social media scientist at the time to talk to car dealers about social media data. And the guy got up and he had, the PowerPoint, the spreadsheets, the algorithms, data. And it took less than 10 minutes for the dealers to start getting up and walking out.
Yeah.
And it was interesting because not only was, I think, probably an informative presentation, but when we've done shows around technology, part of the reason they're well watched is because we're probably getting 5 to 10 minutes about a certain company if we have 4 or 5 guests.
Right.
And the dealer doesn't have the bandwidth or maybe even the attention span to handle a 45-minute presentation about something sometimes.
Right.
I'm not trying to beat anyone up, but I've seen this. So, yeah.
So the way that we usually go, or typical, is that we like to do an assessment.
Yeah.
And it's something that, because I've done this so long, it's been informal. I am the face of most of our agents and agencies in the automotive side, because on our telecom house, a lot of those guys just know how to sell telecom products.
Yeah.
So they're now bringing me in to offer the auto portfolio side of it. So we do assessments and, just asking basic questions. How do you guys handle sales leads as they come in? What's your process? Because we need to understand how they operate to make them better at operating their way, right? This isn't the right solution for everybody. There's no such thing. Some technologies can do incredible things, but if it's not received the right way, adopted in, and then part of the culture, it's going to fail. And if it's going to fail, we don't want it in our portfolio, and that's why we tie down those pieces. Like, you have to have the best PMs and not dealing with the guy that's getting turned out against you. We have to have the best account managers because my clients matter and they need that touch.
Yeah.
Right. And we have to be able to bypass tier 1 and tier 2. Because tier 1 and tier 2, especially in automotive, it's like so dumb.
Your call is important to us.
So then the dealer ends up not making that call because they know it's going to take too long to get fixed. So now we just bought this technology. We're not using the technology. We're paying for the technology, but we don't have time for that crap.
Yeah.
So that's where we ensure the buy-in is from the beginning. And it is deeper than their normal process. It's actually what we work on with each individual one. We want a customized process that is just like enterprise, but for every single dealership.
Yeah.
And it's a better technology experience is what we offer.
And everything now is tech. Look at this show 20 years ago. Mind you, this year there's way more touchy-feely stuff than I thought there was. Because there's right around you, there's 10 different EV charging solution companies.
I'm noticing this year specifically versus the last 5 years is you're seeing companies say 5 years ago there was quite a few that saw one product, maybe 2 products. Now you're seeing a lot of consolidation where you have companies selling 8 products, 10 products. that maybe 5 years ago had one. So you're seeing that, and I think that's really interesting because we did an interview, I think it was DEP yesterday, and initially it was just a website. Now they're doing all this stuff. And then we interviewed, obviously, Tim talking about data, which was interesting because he was talking about compliance of that and a bunch of other things. But the thing that's really interesting when you look at the technology side of auto is you have companies that have expanded from, say, one offering to 5 or 6. And that was true last year when we interviewed Velo's two companies they acquired the week before the show.
Yeah,
So
Recon.
we're definitely seeing it.
Interesting thing is data, and this is probably where somebody like you comes into hand too, or as a hand, because people don't realize when they sign up with these companies, they're exposing everything. Tesla's not a car company. Tesla's not even a tech company. They're a data company.
Again, it goes back to what's behind the curtain.
Yeah.
Where are they? What kind of technology is this? What's their purpose? What's their ulterior motive if there is? And because there are a lot in here.
No, exactly. Well, perfect. Anything else?
Don't think so.
Nate, thank you so much. We really appreciate you tuning in with us. And,
Thank you guys.
it's a real pleasure. I love what the guys do. You got to check out his suit. Shall he show his suit? That's really cool stuff, So there you go. And thank you very much. He's also a jazz singer, so check him out. So, dooby-dooby-doo.
Bring a ding ding.
Thank
Hey, if you missed us live, you can listen to us wherever you get your podcast.